My name is Daniel Molina, and this is probably the first, not probably, well, I used to do some stuff at a local station in Hawaii. And I know you probably thought, hey, who invited Aquaman to this thing? But we are the Avengers, at least the new Avengers, so they told me to come here. But this is definitely my first kind of political thing. I did faith and politics in Hawaii in a little Christian station there, Christian viewpoint on what's happening in our political, local political in Hawaii. And if you know Hawaii, it's definitely a blue state, and it's been that way for about 60 years. I think we had one run of a Republican there, but it's definitely been mostly liberal. And so today, I wanted to share a video just to represent what we're trying to do. And it's takeamericabacknow.org. If you want to put that down, share it, follow us on Instagram and really all the places, X and all those places. And in a minute, I want to share with you what Take America Back is. But first, I wanted to share a little bit what happened in Hawaii. I'm not sure if you know, but in Hawaii, we had floods, and it took a while before it hit mainstream media. But one thing that's beautiful about Hawaii, the residents, and the Hawaiians and Polynesians is that when things happen, we come together. And we come together no matter what political background you have, what worldview you have. It doesn't matter. We come together and we call it ohana, family. And we treat everyone like their family. If you respect us, if you honor us, we're going to embrace you in. But unfortunately for Hawaii and the Polynesians there, they have been taken advantage of for so long, so many times. And so they're a bit gun shy, if you will, of embracing so many people. We call it the aloha spirit. And sometimes the aloha spirit, you don't feel it in certain places. You kind of see those videos on viral where the tourists are fighting against the local there because they're just kind of upset and mad that they keep getting robbed. But the local floods that just happened, my organization, another organization I'm part of, we have mobilized and teamed up with churches and local leaders to mobilize over 1,000 volunteers to go help with the people that were affected with these floods. And it was a disaster. And unfortunately, a lot of these residents are not homeowners. If you know anything about insurance, there is no flood insurance for a homeowner. I mean, for a renter, right? And so literally 3 or 4 houses went down the river and they were all renters. They didn't even have time to go through any of their things, right? And then you have tons of other people where all their stuff is damaged. You had to throw it away. I was there digging up the mud, my family, my kids. We were there for a whole week linking arms with the family and our families and the residents of Hawaii. So they mobilized together. Why did they mobilize together? Because there was a natural disaster and they saw people in need, right? And so something about natural disasters that brings people together, no matter what political background you have, right? We come together to help people. That doesn't only happen in Hawaii. I've seen it happen all over America where people just get in and they don't ask questions. The only question they're really asking is, how can we help? How can we serve? And so why I share that with you guys is that this is what I feel like this is. There's a natural, I wouldn't say natural disaster, a infused disaster, purpose disaster with America. And I heard all day today on how there's so many problems, there's foreign policies, people have special interests, right? The Epstein files, the Iran war, all these things that we voted to resolve. And unfortunately, we're here over a year and nothing has been resolved. And that's why we're saying there's a disaster happening in America. And just like as human beings, we come together because if you're a true human being, there's love in there. And when people see that they're in harm's way, that love comes out. And it trumps all of our notions of presupposed notions of what you believe in. It trumps that. And love comes in and serves and helps people. And that's why there's left, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff I heard today that I may not agree with, right? I mean, I might get canceled when I get back to Hawaii because I was interviewing Dan, which I'm okay with that. Because why? There's a disaster happening in America, and we need to help people that don't realize they need to be helped, right? And we're here together to represent the Americans that don't know it yet that we don't have much time. Like Dan's right when he's saying we have maybe 1 or 2 elections before freedom of speech. When you have Ted Cruz, who's supposed to be a Christian, saying Jesus Christ is King is a hate crime towards a certain people group, that's a problem, guys. A Christian man said Jesus is King is hate speech. I remember 10 years ago, and you can fact check me, California was trying to pass legislature on trying to make Jesus is the only way a hate crime. This is a Christian nation. So when we say, are they really our allies? We're really asking that question. Because we're a Christian nation, and Jesus is the person that we worship, and we give all authority goes to him. We can't make the person that we worship, who we think is king, a hate crime. And so we have to wake up. And boomers who are saying, you guys are nuts, you guys are crazy. My parents are boomers. I'm slowly trying to wake them up. They're watching live right now. Love you guys, right? But they were worried about this movement. Daniel, be careful. Be careful. Because they're caring parents, right? And so, but I am done talking about it. I am done commenting. I don't know if I'm 46 years old. I know, look, I'm 30, right? Been married 26 years. I have 7 kids, 6 girls, 1 boy. Thank you. 1 woman. One woman. Got married at 20. My wife was 18, barely 18. Amen. I'm helping, trying to restore the culture of America because you guys don't have kids, so I'm trying to make up for you guys. But for me, I look at the future of my kids. I look at the future of the people that we serve with my nonprofit. And if we don't fix this problem, there's only so much money we can raise to help these people. But if we fix America from the top and we're able to help them, then it doesn't put a strain on me and you and the nonprofits and the churches to help the people that our American officials are supposed to be helping. Instead, sending billions and billions, and not trillions of dollars overseas for special interests and foreign interests. And that needs to stop. And I think that's why everyone's in here, because we're sick of it. Okay? And so that brings me to Take America Back. So a friend of mine, Brent, we're thinking about, man, how do we do this? In Hawaii, we're helping candidates run no matter what, D or R, it doesn't matter. Like, don't let them decide for you what those parties represent. That's the problem. We think there's two-party system. It's 2 heads, 1 body. And the reason why you can say that is true, number 1, the Epstein files have not been released. Right? And then they just passed a bill, right, that did not allow their constituents know who had sexual harassment charges. And it was unanimous, almost. Left and right voted, oh, well, hold on, we're not going to show you who was, what charges were pressed of sexual harassment. That should tell you there's 2 heads and 1 body, right? And so Take America Back is trying to solve the problem that we hear a lot of influencers, we see and we read their comments of people, man, what do we do? Some influencers, I don't even know who to turn to. I can't turn to the Republicans because it's too far right. I'm not going to go left. And so what we're trying to do is say, hey, look, it doesn't have to be left and right. It doesn't have to be a D or an R. Just find out where you're running and go change that party inside out. If you don't have to work, don't let them tell you what their party is about. If all of a sudden we infiltrate Hawaii with 30 Christian leaders who are not taking foreign money, who believes exactly what we believe in, they're not even going to know what to do. We can start changing Hawaii. And it's not about changing Hawaii to red. It's about changing Hawaii and turning their life back to Christ, back to God, right? Back to actually helping and serving the people, right? And if it's an R, then great. Go with an R. It doesn't matter. I feel like we can change the whole 2-party system if we have everyone actually go and run. And I know there's a lot of influencers, and I know there's a lot of people who just want to be content creators. That's good, but we need a lot more people running. The gentleman that went, the Marine that they broke his arm. What's his name? Yes. We need more of that. Show up to these hearings. Show up to these public meetings. Show up to the city council meetings and the school board meetings, and record it and stand up and speak. Hawaii did a good job. Let me tell you something about Hawaii. In Maui, the Lahaina fires. I'm pretty sure you heard about that. There's an activist group that fights for the Hawaiians, and they're sick and tired of just being left behind and these big resorts being built on their land. And what they did is they found a loophole in Hawaii. You could not sleep on the beach past 24 hours. You have to leave, right? So you can't just have a tent on the beach and just spend a night in camp. But the loophole, if you have a fishing pole in the sand and you are actively fishing, you can stay as long as you want. So what this genius group did, they literally put fishing poles right in front of the resorts, beautiful resorts in Maui. And they stayed there, I want to say like 30, 40 days. It was nuts. And they built a whole camp with fishing poles, right? And they couldn't kick them out. And they showed up. They live in Maui, right? When we were in session, they went to the Capitol. They all flew with all their shirts organized, and they all testified. And they went on the mic, and they were heard. And they did it every single time on their own dollar. And you know what happened? Finally, our governor and our politicians had to bend to what they requested. Yeah. Yeah. And it gave people hope. And that's in essence what we have to do across the nation, is show up to these city council, meetings, and no one goes, no one cares. So they just don't go. And so if we just show up to these things across, if all these influencers that are listening to this, who is America First, encourage them to go. Find out when these meetings are happening, bring your camera, and just start blasting on social media. They will start bending to the pressure. Why? Because their constituents are also on social media. And they're going to see that video. And oh, dang, that makes me look bad. Let me start listening to them. Right? And so Take America Back is going to be an organization that's going to teach people how to run. What's happening is there's 500,000 seats in America that's not at the federal level. That's not a whole lot of seats when you think about 350 million people. I think there's some people in America, right? So if we can encourage them and teach them how to run and say, hey, these local seats, you might need $3,000. Heck, with social media and AI, we can you can ask, hey, how do I win a race? And tell me what talking points I need to say, what kind of marketing I need to do. You don't even have to hire anybody. AI could be your coach these days. Uncensored AI. I'm telling you, people have more power to do things. They're just scared or they don't know how. So we need to teach them, hey, this is how you can win a race. This is how you can door knock. This is, you know that most people that door knock don't even talk about issues. Hey, my name is Daniel Molina. I'm running your district. How you doing? Oh, great. Awesome. I just wanted to introduce myself. Do you have any questions about? No. Most people don't talk about abortion, about the wars, about any issues. They just see you. And I'm telling you, I know this from firsthand because people tell me all the time, they don't talk about issues. They remember your face, they remember your name, and they win. And they turn districts upside down. And so if we just teach them how to do it, then we can literally take America back. And so the federal level, it does take money, unfortunately. I mean, $20 million, $30 million in these campaigns to win this, congressional stuff. So that does take big money. But if we can think about all the stuff that Trump tried to do on his first term that he could not do because the local level sandbagged them, right? They blocked them. Federal government has power, but not that much. Like if you're sick of seeing, books in the library that has pornography in it, it's just no one shows up in those meetings. There's no parents. Now they're starting to do it, but they did it before. And so the last point I'm going to say is they did not steal this country. A lot of people think, man, they just came and just stole this country. What happened, and what I think, and I'm 46. So what I think happened somewhere around 40 years ago or 50 years ago, we started caring less about politics and caring more about football, baseball, entertainment, right? Hey, if we could just, it's kind of the whole Nero thing with the Coliseum. Let's just entertain them, keep them busy, and they care less about what's happening here and the politics stuff. And we bought into it. Exactly. So we turned to entertainment instead of turning and making sure our politicians that we elected did exactly what they said they were going to do. And so the bad actors knew, hey, let's just find some no-spine politicians, and forgive me if you're a lawyer, but mostly a lawyer who likes power and money, who understands politics, and let's blackmail them with the Epstein files. And they like the honeypots. They like power, right? We can control them. And that's kind of what happened, in my opinion. Back then, we had doctors, we had coaches, we had ex-military, we had pastors, we had leaders that actually led something in their life and ran for office. So they had experience on how to lead and serve the people. But now we don't have that. We don't have people serving the people running for office. They don't have that experience. And so that's why we have what we have. So let's stop being distracted with entertainment. And if you're listening to this, stop thinking you cannot run. If you care about America, then run. If you're anti-foreign money, then run. If you want the Epstein files to be released, then run. If you're against the Iranian war and every other war that may come in the future, and you want your sons and sometimes daughters to fight in these wars, then run. What we have now is like rock bottom. It sucks. We don't have time. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Uncensored AI would tell you how to do it. Right. So I want to play a video real quick.
Something is wrong in Washington, and everyone can feel it. In 2023, 93 out of 100 U.S. senators received money connected to AIPAC. In 2024, Donald Trump raised roughly $1.5 billion for his campaign. The ethnic breakdown of donors was 16% Jewish, 2% Hispanic, and 1% Black. Why does this matter? When you start looking at political money and where it comes from, you start asking questions. Not because you hate anyone, because money moves power. And in modern politics, a lot of power follows money. Asking where political money comes from and who it influences is not hate, it's accountability. Because in a democracy, government is supposed to answer to the people, not the biggest donors or foreign interests. The truth is simple. The system has been broken. And while Americans struggle, the people running the system keep getting richer. Complaining won't fix it. Posting won't fix it. Arguing online won't fix it. Waiting for someone else to step up won't fix it. Everyone sees it, but they keep us distracted, facing each other instead of facing them. That stops today. We are taking action before our country is gone and our children become slaves to the machine. Most people will wait to see if something changes. Some people will help build the change. Which one are you? People across this country are angry, and honestly, we are pissed. Because this country belongs to its citizens, to Americans, not donors, not lobbyists, not special interests. Why the black flag? The black flag is a warning. It means the people are no longer willing to stay silent. Fly the flag. Let them know enough is enough.